what's up YouTube? Welcome to my channel. The title really says it all, I think. So yeah. A wise friend once told me that if I wanted to be an LGBTQ YouTuber, this would be a staple video. So thank you, wise friend, that may have had this conversation with me just last night. And thank you to all of you who are watching, because coming out is incredibly emotional in like every way possible. And as you can see, I am kind of repping my pride today. So let's start. So coming out for me was, I don't know, just rewind. Let's rewind. When I was younger, I really liked hanging out with boys, and I really liked I had crushes on boys my whole entire like kindergarten experience. I was like, I have a crush on this guy, he's so cute and whatever. So this started kind of really young. I had always admired women. I had always felt attracted to them, but I was still really confused because a large amount of the time I was hanging out with boys. But it never occurred to me that I had more than just admiration for my friends that were females, and then like my guy friends, right? And this went on for a while, and then I kind of, in my head, I was like, ooh, maybe I'm bi. But it wasn't until I got into university and I started working at this coffee bar, and there was this girl upstairs, and she worked in the kitchen. She's a chef, and I had the hugest crush on her. I didn't know, I was beside myself. I had no idea what I was doing, why I wanted to go and visit her on all of my breaks, but I would just keep going. I would just keep going upstairs, and she's gay, so she flirted with me, and I loved it. I loved every second of it. I would sit down and she would give me my food and talk to me and say, hey, you're really cute, what are you doing later? And I always found some way to kind of, I don't know, brush it off, I guess. I'd always be like, oh, I'm busy, or I'm going to my other job, or I'm doing schoolwork. And then things started to pick up. I realized that my feelings were more than just admiration, and more than just I found this person attractive. I did want to go on a date with her, and I had no idea how to go about that. So she asked me out again, and we went to a movie together, and it was great. I want to say that I continued talking to her and texting her, but I didn't. I got really afraid. For my entire life up until then, I thought that I just appreciated the female body. I didn't think that I actually wanted to be with a woman. And the fact that I had such strong feelings for her, and that she also had those feelings towards me, totally freaked me out. I had only boyfriends up until that point, and I got scared. And it's really silly to look back on now, because I told myself all the time, I was like, that's ridiculous. You're straight. You don't like girls like this. You have boyfriends. You are definitely straight. There is not any gayness in you, or any romantic attraction to this person. You can't lead her on like that. And I had tricked myself into thinking that I was leading her on, which is really sad, because she was pretty great. But I had cut the whole thing off because I was so afraid to admit to myself that I was queer. and I fought with myself for a long time about it. In the end, we're both friends now. We talk to each other occasionally, and there's no hard feelings, and for that I'm really grateful. But it makes me really upset that, you know, I could have been honest with myself, but it didn't work out that way, and that's totally okay. So after convincing myself that I was definitely not queer, I went on seeing guys. I didn't think too much about it, but when I started volunteering at a peer support center in my university, and right next to it was the Pride Center. These two rooms were connected by a door in the middle, or like a little room in the middle. So it was just normal for everyone to come in and out of both rooms. And I had made friends in the Pride Center. They were so awesome and so sweet. And I was like, damn, I want to be part of this community. I was questioning myself the entire time that I volunteered in this Pride and Peer Support Center. I was like, until I met a girl there that she changed everything for me, especially that year. I like, even now I'm kind of like dumbfounded because I saw her and she smiled at me, and that was it. I was like, I need to know her. So I walk up to her and I'm like, hey, you're really cute. Can I hug you? That's what I said. Luckily, she's not an awful person, so it kind of worked out. And this will all come full circle, by the way. This will make sense. So I started talking to her more every time she came in, and one of my good friends was friends with her, so, and I didn't, like, it did not compute. I was still kind of denying myself. It did not register that I had a big, huge, fat crush on her. It just didn't click. Time goes by and our mutual friend was there. The girl I had a crush on, she left. My friend just looks at me and she's like, you like her? You have feelings for her? At the time, I was like, no. What do you mean? I don't have a crush on that girl. I don't even really know her. I just know her name, okay? No. No. Oh, I was wrong. Oh, I was so wrong. But she didn't let it go. She was like, no, I'm gay. I know that face. And I guess I was like lobster red and totally just, it was obvious. I had a huge fat crush on her. It was just, there's not much to say except for that. And I'm rambling about it because I get really intense thinking about this. So I'm sorry. Long story short, that girl and I started dating. And this is where things really started to shift for me in my world. We had gone out a couple times, and then, you know, naturally we were girlfriends. We were dating. We were in a relationship. She was already out to her family, and I thought that was so incredibly brave. And I just, all the time I would think about, what if I wanted to come over one day and like my mom's just like, your friend's really nice. I just really didn't want that to happen. So one day I kind of talked myself into coming out to my mom. because we've always been really close. So I go into her room and she's getting ready in her bathroom or whatever, and I'm like, hey mom, I gotta tell you something. And she says, okay, sure, yeah, like, what is it, honey? And I'm like, no, I really need to talk to you. And then her voice dropped. She's like, oh, what's wrong? And I'm like, from outside her bathroom, I'm like, well, and then she's like, are you pregnant? No. Actually, it's kind of the opposite, like real opposite of that. And she's like, I don't get it. I don't know what you mean. You just have to tell me what you're talking about. I have no idea. So then I'm like, okay. I have a girlfriend and I'm bisexual. I'm bisexual and I have a girlfriend. And she reacted how, I mean, it wasn't awful, but she reacted how a lot of people react, and she gave me the most cliche questions ever, like the questions you don't want to hear your parents ask you or anyone ask you when you come out to them. Those are the ones she asked first. Are you sure? Yeah, we're dating, so I'm pretty sure. How do you know? How do you know you're straight, mom? And I said that to her, and she kind of like smirked, and then she was just like, okay. And then the last thing she said to me was, make sure you have safe sex. Oh my goodness. We had never had the sex talk at all throughout my entire life. And now I'm in university. I've had, you know, quite a few boyfriends. And now you want to tell me to have safe sex? Well, thank you. So obviously I was kind of embarrassed, and I was like, okay, cool. And then she freaks out. I was stunned. She's like, what will your grandparents think? You cannot tell them. And just for some context, my grandparents are super traditional, super old, and super Spanish. So I get where she's coming from. But anyways, she's like, you cannot tell your grandparents. They do not need to know this. You will not ever bring it up, blah, blah, blah. Like, she just unloads on me. And she's like, your grandmother will have a heart attack if she finds out that you like girls. Being young and just finally being comfortable with my sexuality, I was just floored. So I was like, you know what? I've said what I need to say to you, and I'm gonna go now. And I'm gonna tell whoever I want because it's mine to tell. I go back to my room and I was like writing and bawling my eyes out, texting my friends like, she doesn't accept me. And 10 minutes later she comes in and she's like, Sahara, she's crying, she's emotional, she's like, it's all going on. And she's like, Sahara, I am so sorry. You can be and say and tell anyone you want. I love you no matter what. And just to have that moment with her of like, she might not understand, but she still loves me, was absolutely everything to me. So I got pretty lucky that she let it process fairly quickly, because I know sometimes people take a little bit of time to let it sit with them. So it was really, really, really fast and emotional, but it worked out and it was great. So thanks, Mom. And then, yeah, after that, she didn't really, I could tell she was uncomfortable with it for a little while, because before she had always asked about my boyfriends, but after I started dating my girlfriend at the time, she didn't really have that interest. I think after the first year of our relationship, she was super, like, she loved her, she still loves her. Didn't get to come out to my dad because I told my cousin, I was like, at my girlfriend's house, and she's like, what? Calls me, and she's like, what girlfriend? You dating a girl? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, yeah. She didn't care. She didn't give a single flip about it. So thanks. And then, but she told my dad. So I never got to come out to my dad. But he totally brought it up. He's like, just want you to know that whoever you love is cool with me. So I was super blessed that both my parents were really great about it. And even better, when I told my sister, the whole thing played out so well. I was like, so Julie, I have something to say to you. And I'm building it up, right? I'm totally scared that she's gonna think I'm a freak and that her older sister is a weirdo who likes girls and who likes so many genders, and on her phone too. She's like, okay, cool. And I'm like, that's it? I don't get anything else? Like, that's cool? You're not freaked out? No, why would I be? I have so many friends that are gay. Okay. Thank you. So yeah, coming out to my family was one of the most exhilarating and exciting and nerve-wracking feelings that I have ever felt before. But they definitely make me feel so blessed and so lucky, because I know that there are so many people that don't get that. They don't get to come out and have people be supportive and love them. And there's a lot of people that get rejected right away. And that I mean, it hits so deep inside of me, because every person that I've come out to, for the most part, the people that matter anyways, have been incredible. And even if they were weird about it at first, they've always accepted it in the end, or we just stopped hanging out. I mean, wow, talk about blessings. So yeah, that's my coming out story to my family. My best friends have been absolutely incredible. They actually they knew before I did, I think. And actually my best friend's mom, one of my best friends anyways, her mom called it out when we were way young, like 14. She's like, so I think Sahara's a lesbian. Not quite, but pretty darn close. And I don't know, that's all I really have to tell. My coming out is still something that I have to do, or I feel like I have to do all the time. I hope that this has been semi-helpful. I know that coming out is ridiculously hard, and it's an extremely personal choice. And sometimes we don't get to have that choice. Sometimes we're outed, sometimes people tell our stories for us, but if you do choose to tell your story, and if you do choose to come out, the one thing I really want you to know is that you are so loved, and you are so supported. Even in the smallest of places, like my hometown is small. Even in the smallest of places, you will find a community and people that will make you feel valid and like you matter. And it's incredible what happens when we reach out to each other. So keep being brave, love yourself, and be fearless in that. I hope that you can find a way to make you feel good about coming out and about being whoever you are. So yeah. And you know what? If your friends or your family don't accept you or they exile you, you have a huge community. The LGBTQ community is blooming with wonderful souls that will be your family, and that's what I hope for you. I hope that you find your people. So folks, that's my coming out story. This is who I am. And if it changes one day, then it'll change. But for now, I'm here. I'm definitely queer. And I hope that you can relate to that. And if you can't, well, that's okay, because I still like you anyways. Thank you for watching. If you want to see more videos like this, let me know. This is my first YouTube video. I am completely stoked about this journey. I freaking love YouTube. Comment, like, and subscribe. I will have everything linked down below. And if you'd like to see me more frequently over the holidays, I'm doing vlogmas with my sister, and for the first week we will be on her channel and then switching to mine. So that will also be in the description box below if you want to watch our shenanigans. After the holidays, I will be posting on this channel, my channel, every single Friday. So you will get content every week. I love you so much. Thank you for watching, and have a fan-freaking-tastic night.